What's up, everybody? What's happening? Welcome all sports fans, YouTubers, Facebookers, all social media across the nation. Uneducated Network. It presents In the Paint with Red, hosted by Devonte Rone, a.k.a. Red, and myself, Carlos Clayton, the host of Uneducated Sports Talk. Before we get to going, talking about NBA stuff, give a shout out to Playmakers in Lake Charles, Louisiana. Show them what it is, Red.
Yes, baby.
We got our
official. I'm official. Uneducated Network.
That's right. We got our shirts in, so we're very happy. I want to give a shout out to Mark and Heather Senegal from Lake Charles, Louisiana. They're the owners of Playmakers. They did our shirts for us. So if you guys want to get them, man, email them at playmakersla@yahoo.com. That is playmakersla@yahoo.com. And their number is 337-491-1816. That's 337-491-1816. So shout out to Playmakers for getting our shirts. You'll see not only me and Red, but you see everybody else as part of Uneducated Network that will have these shirts as well. So thank you, Playmakers, for that, man. And we rocking it. Like I said, you official, huh?
I'm official.
We official. But with that being said, y'all, we want to talk basketball, Red. So, 1 second in the lane. Red's top 30 NBA teams. We did 30 to 26. If you haven't seen that, please go to our episode before this and see 30 to 26 and what we talked about those teams. Now, Red, we got 25 to 21, my brother. Go ahead with your people. Who you got at 25?
At number 25, I got the New York Knickerbockers. Yes, everybody knows the Knickerbockers. Obviously, they let go of Carmelo Anthony, so it's a much different team this year. Where I have them ranked at is out of the playoffs. Obviously, I got them at least getting 31 wins, 51 losses. Cause I mean, the season just started, and I'm seeing how they look, and it's like it's not too good. So, I mean, they just lost. They lost to the obviously Oklahoma City Thunder opening night badly, and it's not good for them at all. And also too, they top players that have them for them is Kristaps Porzingis, obviously, and they got Lance Thomas and Ron Baker. I think them three will help them to get some wins, not a lot of wins, but at least some, because I mean their team is completely different without Carmelo Anthony, as everybody know. But I really like them. I really like them where they at. I mean, but they are not a really top tier team. So
you knew that they're going a different direction.
Right.
They let Carmelo go. Before that, in the draft, they got the little French dude, Frank Latino, whatever his name.
Whatever his name.
Frank, we know his name. We call him Frankie.
Yeah.
So they got Frankie from France, and you mix him in with Kristaps Porzingis, and they're going younger.
Right.
I don't know if they're going the right way going younger, but they know they're rebuilding, and it's kind of tough to see as a Knicks fan. They've been struggling for so long,
right? And
you want to see they had so many chances in the 80s, 90s, mid 2000s, even in late 2000s with the Knicks. I think 2011 or 12, one of those years they had 54 wins. It's a tough team to watch, man.
Right.
So you actually got them at 25 and 57 pretty much for this year, and that's not looking good. I'll tell you that right now. So next we got what you got next?
The next team I have is Minnesota. Obviously, the team has been reconstructed. It's gotten better, and they obviously they made the trade for Jimmy Butler, which made their team much better. And obviously, they already have Karl Anthony Towns, Andrew Wiggins, and they did add a Jeff Teague and a Jamal Crawford. So, like I said, they're a much better team than they were last year. I do have them maybe a 8 or 7 spot in the West. Obviously, the West is so hard, so that's usually why I got them at that spot.
Yeah, so you got them 47 and 35 this year.
Yeah, 47-35. I have them
which could get you a 7th or 8th seed.
Right.
The way the West is looking.
Yeah, the way the West is looking, I have them at that 7 or 8 spot. You know what I'm saying? I don't see them going any farther than the first round if they have to face like a Golden State Warriors or Oklahoma City Thunder. You know what I'm saying? Something like that. With them, it's like they still learning how to play with each other, and they still learning. It's a learning process. But I like what they did in the offseason. They went out and got some players, And basically, they brought the Bulls to the Timberwolves. You know what I'm saying?
What you call them?
The Bull Wolves.
The Bull Wolves.
The Bull Wolves.
I call them Minnesota Bulls. The Minnesota Bulls, man. Yeah, the Taj Gibson and the Jimmy Butler. Obviously, the culture is changing in Minnesota. Tom Thibodeau, he loves to win. He wants to win. So you knew that he was going to do some drastic changes when they did make the playoffs. Right. So I respect that. Minnesota could be a sneaky team up there, man. He said 8 or 7 seeds. So who you got for number 23?
Number 23, I have the Sacramento Kings. Obviously, they were a pretty good team before they gave up DeMarcus Cousins. They were a pretty decent team. They had a decent team. But obviously, with him gone, now they got new faces: George Hill, Zach Randolph, Vince Carter. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like they're a good team. But in the West, it's so hard, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I got them maybe on the outside looking in, you know what I'm saying? So I have them,
40 and 42?
Yeah, 40 and 42. I have them at 40 and 42 because it's so hard in the Western Conference. I mean,
but that's a big improvement, though. That's a very big improvement.
Yeah, for them, obviously. That's a really good improvement for them.
That's another team trying to change their culture now. They've had so many quote-unquote knuckleheads on their team over the last 6-7 years now, all being young. They brought in, not only getting De'Aaron Fox in the draft, who I think is a steal at number 5. Right. He's probably a better point guard, I believe, than Lonzo Ball. We'll get to that later, though.
Yeah.
And then you had the Zach Randolph. No matter what he did in the offseason. But Zach Randolph, and then you had a Vince Carter. At least you're bringing in veteran leadership who can show you ways as an NBA player, not the offseason. But show you how to be an NBA player during the season. Teach these young guys a little something because I got Willie Cauley-Stein as well. So I want to teach these young guys how to be pro. I respect that. I love what their organization is finally starting to do now. Rebuild, but also get those young guys something to look up to.
Right.
You know, so Sacramento, hey, on the outskirts looking in, I like that. 40 and 42, man. So that's a big jump for them.
Yeah, it is.
All right, who you got number 22?
Number 22, I have the Dallas Mavericks. Obviously, they drafted a nice young starter, Dennis Smith Jr. That boy can ball.
Right.
I watched his first game. I watched his NBA debut, and he had a pretty good game. I think he finished with 20. And I think 6 and 5, something like that. I'm not sure, but he did have a pretty good game as far as his NBA debut. I really think he's going to be
Russell Westbrook-like.
Yeah, somewhat. I can't say that because
I'm saying like you want to compare him to an NBA player right now at his stage.
Yeah, and I would prefer him to like a Russell Westbrook.
I don't think Russell Westbrook scored 20 points in his debut. I'm not sure about that, but he reminds me a lot of Russell Westbrook. Just from his build, he's a big old little dude, and he's explosive.
Yeah, but also too, he has learned a lot, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Especially coming to the NBA fresh off college, you have to learn a lot in order to get to where you need to be as far as want to be one of the best NBA players in the world, in the game, you know what I'm saying? So it's still just a learning experience for him, but I like him. I think he's doing big things for the city of Dallas, and also too with Dirk Nowitzki starting to get up in age now, he's gonna start being the face of that organization. You know what I'm saying? So that's obviously good for them in that organization. I have them at 33 and 49. I don't have them in the playoffs because obviously, like I said, the West is so star-studded that it's so hard to try to you have to literally fight for a playoff spot in the Western Conference, you know what I'm saying? So I have them at 33 and 49. So like I said, on the outside looking in, it's just a very hard conference. So it's hard to put teams in the playoffs in the Western Conference, you know what I'm saying? So that's the reason why I got them where I got them at.
Dallas is they're on a rebuild mode for sure. They finally took that leap and said, you know what, guys, we're going to rebuild. I'm glad they finally did, because I always say that over the last 4 or 5 years, they were getting older every year.
Right.
They're adding older guys every single year, and finally you get Harrison Barnes from trade to see.
Right.
You drafted Dennis Smith Jr. You finally come to terms. We're going up. The reason why they got a draft pick that high is because they actually realized we're not going to win anything. They're stopping this rebuild. And I'm glad that they went that way, because Mark Cuban always felt like he can get every single summer. Mark Cuban was trying to get some big name.
Right.
And for some reason, they would never come to Dallas. I don't know why, because that's a great franchise to be a part of
Right.
if I'm an NBA player. But they finally came to a realization that we need to go ahead and rebuild and start over so that in the next 3 or 4 years, we'll be the team that everyone's trying to reach. And I kind of like that, man. Number 21, our last number, who we got?
Number 21, I have the New Orleans Pelicans. Obviously, during the season last year, they traded for DeMarcus Cousins, bringing him in with also star-studded Anthony Davis. That's, I think, two of the best big men that we have in the game right now. And obviously, they added Rajon Rondo in the offseason, so I like that point guard as opposed to that they have. And with those two big men, they can do a lot of lobs, and so they can do a lot of things. But they still haven't showed me
who they got.
I mean,
that's just it.
I mean, they still haven't showed me
they got nobody else, man.
Yeah, right. They really don't have. Well, Drew Holiday.
Rajon got hurt too. Rajon might be out.
Right,
he might be out for the season. It's looking like for a long
so it's not. He's not looking good.
It's not looking good. Like
I have them winning 34 games this year and 48 losses.
Like you got about 41 and 41.
Oh, 41 and 41.
Yeah, we got them in mid tier.
Yeah, mid tier.
But at 41 and 41, you're still on the outskirts looking in. You're not about to get in at 41 and 41. And if you do, you might sneak in the 8th seed, which means you can get blasted by the Warriors, most likely.
And that happened to them a couple of years.
Yeah, but you're saying Drew Holiday, Anthony Davis, Boogie Cousins, and nobody else. I've seen that squad. This squad is not going to be able to contend. And the 41 and 41 is being nice. So Red is actually being nice to these Pelicans, and in my opinion, based on just Anthony Davis's talent alone, that gets him a few wins. But it's going to be a tough year for Pelicans fans. I think that Twin Tower thing they had going on, I don't think it works in this NBA league anymore. When David Robinson and Tim Duncan were those guys, that game was much slower. It was much one is had a lot of smart players back in those days. Now you're talking about young kids running around everywhere. When you know you're a young team, when your oldest guy, your team is like 24. So, but Anthony Davis is the veteran now, and he's like 25, 26.
Yeah,
he's the vet.
He only been leaving for maybe 4 or 5 years now.
So something like that. He is the veteran, and he's still in his mid-20s. It feels like it.
But I mean, like I said, it's his team. I feel like they can get better, but not right now. It's just they have to go through the process. As far as like Joel Embiid said, trust the process. They have to go through, losing in order to not, I say tank for the draft, but I mean as far as get some decent players to fit around Anthony Davis. And also you have to keep Anthony Davis, because I mean if he keep on losing, the man sooner or later is gonna want to hop. Yeah, the man's gonna want to go.
He's gonna want to get out.
Because I mean, you don't want to sit there and continue to play and you never make the playoffs. I mean, what's the sense of being in the NBA? You want to at least have that chance to even make the playoffs. Like I said, even making the playoffs is a bigger goal than just getting to the finals. You know what I'm saying? Making the playoffs, that means that you are one of the top 16 teams in the league.
Right.
So, I mean, it's a bigger goal to at least get to the playoffs and also to at least get out the first round. That means you really actually are competing for a championship. And if the Pelicans can't put a team, a good enough team around Anthony Davis, I don't think that he's going to be there for too long.
Right, gotcha. So that was 25 through 21. Yesterday we did 30 through 26. Today is 25 through 21. 25 is New York Knicks. 24 is Minnesota Timberwolves. 23 was the Sacramento Kings. 22 was the Dallas Mavericks. And 21 was the New Orleans Pelicans. So that being said, comment down below all of those teams, who you like, what you got going with those guys. That was 1 second in the lane. Now, 2 seconds in the lane, Red. NBA tip-off. Sorry we didn't start with that first, but the NBA tip-off did happen. And we had some very good games for the opening. Celtics versus the Cavaliers, and we had Rockets versus the Warriors. But let's start off with the Celtics versus the Cavaliers. Red, I want to ask you, man, what did this game say about both teams? And we know that the Celtics had a significant injury to Gordon Hayward. Right. But what did that say without them? And tell me about the game in particular. The Cavaliers did go ahead and beat the Boston Celtics. What was the final score?
102-99.
102-99, yeah. So Kyrie Irving's debut against his former team, LeBron James. you kind of tell there's a little tension in the building,
Yeah,
but it's excitement as well.
Right.
The game was a pretty good game. At first, it's a blowout by the Cavs. Celtics come back in the second half. Like I said, Gordon Hayward hurts his ankle. We'll talk about that in just a second. And I just want to give your thoughts and your take on the actual game itself.
I think it was a pretty good game. Obviously, of course, that we're going to face this team a lot, being in the Eastern Conference, and obviously in the playoffs. So I guess what I'm feeling is it's just like a good fill-out game, just to get the season going, just to fill everything, and to see how the Cavs, you know what I'm saying, work with the new team. Like I said, they have 7 new players, so they have to make that gel and make that work. You know what I'm saying? And what they wish they did, they did pick up the W. But I mean, the game between the Celtics and the Cavs was more of a fill-out game.
Right.
To see how good the Celtics were going to be, and without the loss to Gordon Hayward. But I mean, like I said, we're going to get to that later. But the Celtics were a good. The Celtics still are a great team. They still are a good team. But I mean, like you said, Gordon Hayward went down with a freak accident. It was crazy, but I still think that game was just more of a fill-out game.
Right.
And obviously, everybody wanted to see Kyrie versus LeBron, because, you know, obviously the man said that he didn't want to play with LeBron no more. So now we want to see what you can do without LeBron. You know what I'm saying? And also, too, now with Gordon Hayward down, you have to be the man.
Right.
So you will have to be the alpha male. You have to be the alpha dog.
Alpha male.
Yeah,
now.
the alpha male. Yes. So it was good for the league. It's a great way to start the season. Obviously playing against your old team, your old teammates. We still have love for you in Cleveland. Don't ever think that we don't, you know what I'm saying? Because like I said, you don't want to hit the shot. LeBron didn't hit the shot. You hit the shot. So we still got love for you, but I mean, you wanted to go off and become a man, so we let you do what you want to do, you know what I'm saying?
It was actually, like I said, it was lopsided in the first half. But of course, with the injury to Gordon Hayward, it's very understandable that they kind of had a dull moment. That second quarter, they just were ho-hum pretty much. And Cavaliers had the way, beating up by as many as 18 points. But then, you know, they get the rah-rah speech in there from Brad Stevens or Kyrie, one of those guys.
Right.
And they come back and even take the lead. And by God, they could have won the game.
Yeah, they could have won the game.
For some people, they should have won the game. But LeBron put his stamp on it. I saw a lot of good things from both teams. I saw the fact that Cleveland, with the slow it down tempo, because in the trenches, you already have the best player on the planet in LeBron.
Right.
But in the trenches, you got D Wade and D Rose and LeBron, and not a lot of shooters. It forces you to make better shot attempts.
Right.
I think it might not work that well in the Eastern Conference, as in the season.
Right.
But I think it's a great formula if you do play the Warriors.
Right.
If somehow you get to the finals and play the Warriors, that's a great recipe to beat the Warriors.
Right.
Slow it down, grind it out. And I think that might, if it comes down to that, people are sleeping on that. With that roster, it might be able to slow down the Warriors or slow themselves down because they can't shoot all these threes anymore because you got D Rose and D Wade. You got to actually make stuff happen. So I'm feeling this Cavaliers team when it comes to that. Now, I don't like Kevin Love in the center. Eventually, when they go on their West Coast trips, that's not going to look good. You can ball out against the East Conference all you want.
Right.
But it's all about having, you want the best record in the league, in my opinion. Right. So, that being said, the Cavaliers went 102-99 against the Boston Celtics for the first game. I think it was a great opening game, especially when it was tense that last half of that fourth quarter. It was back and forth, so I enjoyed it, man. I enjoyed it. The next game on that docket was the Rockets went into Golden State to take on the Warriors. But it was the ring ceremony that got everyone's attention at first. All the players got their rings, and, we had Drake trophies playing in the background. Trophies. But lo and behold, it was spoiled by a game Houston Rockets team, and they went 122-121, which we thought was going to be a victory from the Warriors, but not so fast, my friend, as my man Lee Corso would say. Kevin Durant started the game with a shot off his fingertips by that much. Yeah, about that much. And all of that, his big ass fingers, it hurt him. Pretty sure he got some big old fingers. Yes, but it hurt him at the end. They wound up losing. I want to hear your thoughts on that particular game as well. What does it say about the Rockets? With CP3 being out probably for 4 weeks, what does it say about the Rockets? And is CP3 still a good fit for the Rockets? And the Warriors, this is a bad loss for them, or just shrug it off and continue?
I think that it's a bad loss for the Warriors. Obviously, they got their rings and all that other good stuff. And you want to show the team, you want to show the world that you still the best team. And you come out first game, you're happy, you got your rings and you got your big fat, the big old thing on your finger.
Right.
And you come out and you lose the game. So I mean, but also too, I do congratulate Houston. They actually showed themselves. But also, too, I think Chris Paul and James Harden it don't work. Because, I mean, Chris Paul is more of a ball handler, and James Harden is a ball handler. And they both are like 2-point guards starting, together. And it just doesn't work because James Harden has to have the ball in his hand in order to score. And you can't do that with Chris Paul wanting to do the same thing that you do, take somebody out the dribble or, hesitation moves to the rim, something like that. But, I think that Chris Paul and the team, it helps them defensively and as far as assists-wise, but as far as efficiency at the offensive end, he doesn't fit that scheme.
I actually this. With Chris Paul being out most likely about up to 4 weeks, and I want Joshua Nevels from the Last Word podcast, he was talking about this earlier today. What if Houston goes on a crazy good run without Chris Paul? And would they risk having Chris Paul come back and ruin all that momentum? Or do you see Chris Paul being traded with them this year as well?
I think if they do have a good run without Chris Paul, to be honest, I really think they just don't need him. So, I mean, they might as well just go ahead and trade him. Because, I mean, they had a good run. And, I mean, and when you come back and this run is still not as good as it's supposed to be going, what's the sense of having Chris Paul there? Chris Paul was the person that was not helping us get these victories, and now he comes back and we're losing now, and we can't afford that because, like I said, we play in the Western Conference. Western Conference is the most hardest conference that it's star-studded, so it's hard. You know what I'm saying? So you got to be on your game. You know what I'm saying? You can't come in after being out 4 weeks. I mean, you just got with the team. The season just started this week, and you're already out 4 weeks. I mean, come on, man. So, I mean, I kind of feel like they will lean towards trading them if they do go on this bizarre run, and they just really don't need them.
Right. Well, that's 2 seconds in the lane. The Cavaliers got the victory over the Boston Celtics, and the Warriors get dethroned by the Houston Rockets. But like I said, it's early for all 4 of those teams. It's very, very early. It's all about filling yourself out the first couple games, and then we'll go on from there. Holler at me during Christmas time, right?
Yes, we're watching.
So 3 seconds in the lane. We want to talk about some young teams now. But first, I want to talk about a young Philadelphia team who lost to the Washington Wizards in Washington by a score 120 to 115. This young Philly team, man, are they game? Are they game?
I really think they are. I really think that they will be good once they get themselves, to NBA standards. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's still young. Everybody's still fresh off of college. And obviously Ben Simmons didn't play at all last year. And then Joel Embiid only played 31 games in, 2 or 3 years? I mean, I don't know. But still, once they get to the NBA, standards, I think they will be a very good team in the Eastern Conference. Obviously, we need more talent out east because we don't have any talent. I mean, like I said, we're going down. The Celtics might, I say, a 4th or 5th spot. You know what I'm saying? But the only real star-studded team in the Eastern Conference is the Cleveland Cavaliers. So obviously, we got like that. But back to Philly, I think they will be up there in the top 4 in the Eastern Conference because they still learning. But I think Ben Simmons has proved himself to be one of the greatest players to play the game. He has developed a lot. I've seen him play against the Washington Wizards, and the boy was balling. You know what I'm saying? So I like his game. I like what he does. It's just a matter of time of getting up to NBA,
and gelling.
Yeah, gelling. Just gelling.
You got to gel to what the NBA league is. This isn't college where you're playing, 40 games overall. You're playing 82 games.
Right.
A lot of back-to-backs, a lot of 3 days, 3 nights, and 4 days. So a lot of that going on. But I like this Philly team. They're exciting. If they can all stay together and stay healthy, talk about Joel Embiid part, they'll be fine. I like that. But that's not the only young stud we want to talk about as well. We're talking Lonzo Ball's debut. Just like it was for his summer league. Well, that was the summer league or preseason?
It was summer league.
But yeah, it was just like summer league. It didn't go well. His stat line: 3 points, 9 rebounds, and 4 assists. Did not play at all in the fourth quarter, with the Lakers getting blown out by the Clippers. I don't even know the score. I just know it was an ass whooping. That's all I remember. They made Blake Griffin like Michael Jordan out there.
Right.
And Blake is still good. No offense to Blake. Blake is a really great player. But he looked very unstoppable with 29 points out there. I want to get your thoughts on Lonzo Ball. Is it too early to even judge Lonzo? Do we need to give some time, or are you saying like it is what it is?
I don't want to say judge him just off one game performance. I think he will get better as the season goes along. But I mean, your father says that you're going to be better. You're going to be better than a lot of players. And you're going to take the Lakers to the promised land. And 3 points and then 9 rebounds and 4 assists ain't going to get it done. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, but I'm not getting on you. I'm just saying I'm going to give you a little time to actually get the feel of the NBA and what it brings to the table. So I mean, I can't just judge you off of your NBA debut, but just get better, man, and just do your thing. You know what I'm saying? You are Lonzo Ball. You know what I'm saying? You was a beast in UCLA. I watched your tape. I did a lot of research on you, and man, you was balling, bro. And I mean, but like I said, your dad think that you're gonna be this god of basketball. You coming to the NBA, and I mean, it's a whole different story. So I mean, with that being said, just do your thing, man. Just do your thing, bro.
All right. So that was 3 seconds in the lane talking about the young guys in Philly and Lonzo Ball. Hopefully he can get better. Now, before we end the show, we'll do like I always do, and let's talk a little Cavaliers in Cavs talk. So the Cavaliers, it's looking like they're going to beat the Milwaukee Bucks. They're up by like 15 with 5 minutes to go in the game. So we're going to say that.
Well, no, actually, the game just went final. The score was 116-97.
Oh, 116. Okay.
We did beat the Bucks tonight. We are 2-0.
Now, that they go at home and beat the Celtics. Go on the road and beat I think a really good Milwaukee Bucks team with a Giannis Antetokounmpo out there. But it's 2-0 right now. Right now, they're 2 games above Boston, I'll tell you that right now. And Boston is supposed to be the threat to them.
Right.
My thing is, I want to ask you a question, Red. Does Cleveland have to get the overall best record in order to beat the Warriors to have home court advantage? Or will that even matter at all?
I think we do have to get the overall best record. Obviously, we want to be the best team in the league, and we want to have the best record, so we can't have that, home court advantage throughout the playoffs. Obviously, it's pretty hard because, the Warriors are a pretty good team, so they're going to have their wins. And obviously, with us having a lot of depth and somewhat injured, you know what I'm saying, I can't see us getting the home court, but I would like it. But, I mean, it's just like the Warriors are a good team, Cavs got depth, but it's like, man, I really can't say because it's like these, like the Cavaliers have to win and win.
Right.
And that's the only way how we're going to get that top spot, that top, number one. I mean, obviously we're going to be number one in the Eastern Conference, but I mean, as far as the league,
right.
I mean, I want us to be right there over the Warriors, more wins, and obviously home court. But I like it to where we can at least have that advantage that the first 2 games are going to be in Cleveland. Then obviously Game 5 and Game 7 is going to be in Cleveland. So I like us being at home better than being on the road in Oracle, around that environment. Everybody knows that's one of the places that you barely can win at. So I really like our chances of being the number 1 overall team in the overall. Damn, I can't say it, but the overall number 1 seed. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha. Besides LeBron, besides Caleb, all the new acquisitions right now, who is standing out for you for Cleveland?
I would have to say Derrick Rose is really standing out. Obviously, he's been more explosive than in his MVP when he did have his MVP year. I like that in him. He's looking more fresh. You know what I'm saying? Not looking all, you know, sluggish and fatigued and stuff like that. So, I mean, Derrick Rose is the player that stands out most to me. Obviously, I want him to get better because I want him to get to that 20-25 range as far as points go. And I say about 5 to 6 assists and, you know, 3 or 4 rebounds. That's great for me. You know what I'm saying? So, I really think that he just has to gel and learn how to play with LeBron. And I think he will be the X factor for us going into the finals.
Well, you heard it right there. That's Cavs talk. Cavs early out, 2-0, looking really good, looking really sharp. So hope they can keep it going for the rest of the year. Like I said, if you want to hear Cavs talk, check out our show every single episode. We will have Cavaliers talk all the time. Before we let go, I want to thank Playmakers from Lake Charles, Louisiana for doing our shirts for us. Uneducated Network, we are officially official. You got that, Playmakers. Hit them up at playmakersla@yahoo.com. That's playmakersla@yahoo.com. Thank you, Playmakers. And that being said, like, comment, and subscribe to Uneducated Network on our shirts as well. Please like, comment, and subscribe to that. And we see my show, Uneducated Sports Talk, in the Paper Red with Devonte Rone, a.k.a. Red. You see all kind of things going on. We have many, many other shows and more shows coming out as well. Check out Young World tomorrow, featuring my daughter, Jalea Clayton, where she cooks and we do challenges, and it's a lot of fun as well, man. So check that out as well. More upcoming shows. We're only getting bigger and better every single day. So, Uneducated Network presents In the Paper Red. For your host, Devonte Rone, I'm Carlos Clayton. You guys know what time it is. Stay smart. Stay uneducated. Peace.